Welcome to Thursday. It is February 1st, about 2:31 in the PM, and it's 45 degrees here in northern New Jersey. So it's not freezing cold. It's cool, It's a little brisk, but after the last couple of weeks that we've had, it's been freezing pretty much everywhere. Especially I got some friends in Chicago. They tell me about, the experience in the negative 10 degrees up here. It was freezing too. But now we sitting at a decent 45 degrees. Yesterday was my birthday. Yesterday I turned 32 years old, and I had a good day. I had a good day. And I'm ready to carry forward. And it looks like we crossed oh, thank you, Mara. And hello, Stoned Assassin. And it looks like we crossed 2,000 subscribers yesterday as well. Monk without a cause. What's going on, man? How you doing today? But yes, it appears that we crossed 2,000 subscribers yesterday, which is great. So let's continue to push everything forward. We got some interesting stuff to look at today. You know, Definitely some stuff from Chip Chick. You already know we got some videos, we got some funny things from the right. We got some decent polling news for Biden in an unsurprising area, mainly with women. That's not surprising. But it continues to be a close race. But it's looking like things are starting to open up in terms of like along the lines of issues and abortion. Protecting abortion rights will continue to be a strong campaign call for Democrats in every office. But it's looking like that could be an angle for the Biden campaign to take. And also, more polls coming out suggesting that if Trump is convicted, that will hurt him in swing states. So it continues to be a very shitty election. You know what I mean? And two, we got there was an op-ed written on the Blaze. I don't know if you're familiar with the Blaze, but there was an op-ed written that was basically like the right wing needs to calm down with all this demonizing Taylor Swift and stuff like that. So that was interesting. But it's true. I mean, they look stupid. They look ridiculous. It's really not that big of a deal. Oh yeah, we got Indisputable on. Oh, speaking of that, tomorrow I'm gonna be on Indisputable, and I will also be on the Power Panel tomorrow. I forgot that I was double booked. I didn't realize, but it's looking like it's gonna be a major TYT day tomorrow. So catch me. Let's see. You can catch me on Indisputable, and also catch me on the Power Panel, hour two. Now, let's see. No, I didn't do anything crazy yesterday. I went out to eat at night, but I mean, my birthday's on a Wednesday, and it's pretty cold outside. But I did have a good day, and I went out to eat and had some drinks later on in the evening, so that was nice. Oh, we got Bibliophile. Thank you, thank you so much. All right, now we got which one should we do? Oh, we got Nikki Haley on some bullshit too. We're not gonna watch this full interview, but apparently, matter of fact, let's just start with that. Let's start with Nikki Haley. We got Nikki Haley blames Barack Obama for race, gender division in America. People felt like they were being put in camps because race and gender issues have never been a problem in the United States before the year 2008. Never before, But then again, she did say that America has never been a racist country, not at a single point, you know. So, but we're not gonna watch the full hour episode. Obviously, I just wanted to. It's just funny to start out like, oh yeah, yeah, of course. Racism didn't exist until all the Democrats, Obama. Hold on, where are we going? And she said, with Obama, if you go back, that's when we really started to feel the division. Everything was exaggerated with the Obama administration. It became more about gender. It became more about race. It became more about separating Americans instead of bringing them together. I mean, what do you even really say to that? Like I don't have it in me to pretend like I'm really upset about this because it's just some Republican BS. A lot of Republicans say this, but it's stupid, especially considering the fact that Donald Trump came. Well, I mean, before we even talk about Donald Trump, just the foundation of the country, what we overcame, slavery, overcoming legal segregation, Jim Crow, all of that, women's rights, women's liberation, what have you, and on and on and on. But then also directly after Barack Obama, Donald Trump had his presidency, which the Muslim ban, and they're sending over their worst people. They're sending over criminals and rapists and all of that good stuff. So it's just, what do you really say? You laugh at it. That's what you do. You read it, you laugh at it, you move on. Because again, it's just so stupid. It's so damn ridiculous. Oh, thank you, Fritza, so much. I appreciate that. But yes, we crossed 2,000 subscribers yesterday. So yes, I appreciate everybody. Okay, she continued. She wasn't done yet. She said, everybody is at fault. I'm not saying one person did this, but I'm saying under that administration, it really did cause some. You just felt People felt like they were being put in camps through that administration. The second thing is he was very much an Iranian sympathizer. Yeah, because tearing up that Iran nuclear deal, that's right on. That's what Trump did, obviously, but he very much kept wanting to do things with Iran. I think that's incredibly dangerous. This is a culture that says death to America. You have to always be careful. A lot of spending happened on his watch that started us down that spiral. What about all the spending that Trump did in one administration? It was like almost $8 trillion or something like that in one administration, or something along those lines. It was a lot. But again, I mean, you just laugh at it. Hold on, what did it say? She said she believed that what? Trump provided the country with a needed self-correction and was good at breaking things, which is why she voted for him twice and why she'll vote for him again. The second time I voted for him is I didn't want Biden. I saw that Biden was Obama 2.0, and I didn't want to take that chance of where he was going to take us. I knew they wanted to get back in the Iran deal. You can't have that. Can't be having that. I knew that they weren't serious about closing the border. I knew, yes, Obama 2.0. Well, you would think Obama 2.0 would be pretty good when it comes to immigration, but no, of course not. I knew that was wasteful spending that we had seen that was going to happen. Okay, blah blah blah. Same old again, same old boring Republican BS. But it was just funny to start that way. Oh, Dr. Richie wished me a happy birthday. That's nice. I appreciate that. I I definitely hope that he's hosting tomorrow. That'll be nice. It's always nice to be with Dr. Richie. But yeah, I mean, there's really no serious commentary to give about that. It's just you know, just kind of funny to start off with that. All right, so let's see what's up with the Senate right now. Democrats in Senate fundraising. Most Democrats dominate Senate fundraising, but tough year looms. Most Democratic incumbents and challengers in battleground Senate races raised more than opponents during the last 3 months of 2023 and had bigger bankrolls at the start of the year. New filings with the Federal Election Commission show. Some races are still taking shape, however. In Wisconsin, Democratic incumbent Senator Tammy Baldwin is effectively unchallenged, but that could change soon. Pennsylvania Senator Bob Casey was outraised by his likely Republican opponent, but had more money on hand on December 31st. But like other endangered Democrats, Casey's opponent has already put $1 million of his own money into the race. Okay, so blah blah blah. Basically, Let's get into some of these details. The toss-up races. Here's the nitty-gritty of what we came to this article for. All right. We got toss-up Senate races in Arizona. Independent incumbent Kirsten Sinema maintains the largest war chest with about $10.6 million on hand at the end of the quarter. But her meager fundraising of $595,000 is raising questions about whether she intends to run for re-election. Democratic Rep. Ruben Gallego raised more than $3.3 million in the quarter and has about $6.5 million on hand. Kerry Lake, the most likely Republican candidate, brought in $2.1 million. Kerry Lake, but has only about half that in the bank. And then we got Republican Mark Lamb, who raised $265,000. Montana, Democrat John Tester. All right, looking like he's outpacing Republicans. He brought in $5.5 million, and he got $11.2 million in the bank. That's a lot of money. Tim Sheehy. All right, another one. Ohio. That's another toss-up race. Tilted Democratic races. Nevada with Senator Jackie Rosen, and we got Pennsylvania with David McCormick. He's a Republican, and going against Casey. Michigan and Wisconsin lean Democratic. Likely Democratic is, well, yeah, New Jersey. That's where I live. So that'd be very surprising if it didn't go Democratic right there. Oh, my brother. Thank you so much, Mike Boy, for the $50 super chat. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the friendship. Thank you for the belief and the support. It definitely goes a long way, and it's much needed. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you. And I saw you did a show. Hope that went well. Hope everything's going well out there. We halfway through the week. Let's keep it chugging ahead. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes shit is hard, but it's nice to see, when progress comes, it's just good fuel to keep it going. Slow but steady is the way. Sometimes big shit happens. Sometimes big things explode, but slow and steady is the sure way. You got it, and that's really what separates people at the end of the day. It's not that simple, obviously, but when it comes to life, you got to wake up every day and you got to try. You got to do your best. And that's pretty much what everybody's doing. Most people out here doing their best. So let's keep doing our best. Likely Republican race, Texas. Oh, we got to get Ted Cruz up out of there. We got the Lose Cruz pack. I don't know how well it's doing. I'm gonna have to go ahead and look in to see how much money they've raised. And then Rep Colin Allred and Gutierrez, they running again. There's a few other people too. California, Delaware, Maryland. Republican seats. Well, those last three were Democrat. Republican seats. Indiana, Utah, West Virginia. There we go. We'll have to wait to see what happens. Um, Obviously the House races are always more entertaining. One of the reasons by entertaining, I don't just mean like, oh, look, like it's fun. I mean, like there's just more happening. There's more juice there typically. They happen more often, and more happens in the House than it does in the Senate. So I mean, shit don't be happening. Shit don't be happening in the Senate, but in the House stuff goes down. Okay, so apparently Biden is going to sign some type of executive order. So let's see what's up with that. Biden issues executive order targeting Israeli settlers who attack Palestinians. Okay, this is from Axios, what we're about to go through right now. So let's see what this means. Okay, so today he signed an executive order allowing the U.S. to impose new sanctions on Israeli settlers, and potentially Israeli politicians and government officials involved in violent attacks against Palestinians. The unprecedented executive order is the most significant step any U.S. administration has ever taken in response to violence by Israeli settlers against Palestinian civilians in the West Bank. There have been nearly 500 Israeli settler attacks against Palestinians since October 7th. Bro, that's a lot. I mean, we are, and sometimes like there'll be, I mean, there's commercials on YouTube for everything, but sometimes there'll be like a commercial for Israel, and it'll be like hundreds of people have died, and it's like having tens of thousands of Palestinians been killed. So it's always just rich to hear stuff like that because it's like it's just not, it's not selling because it's so disproportionate. It's not close. It's not even. Israel has a very powerful military. They have the history that they do with settlements, and also Israel's allies are some of the most powerful nations on earth, including us. So it's not selling, and it's not gonna sell. But a little off top. Well, not off topic. It's not off topic at all. Okay, so here we go. In those attacks, Israeli settlers have killed at least 8 Palestinians, including a child, and injured more than 115 others. And these are the settler attacks. The Israeli government claims that it's taken robust action over the last 2 months to tackle the problem, and that it led to sure you did. Netanyahu's trying super hard to stop doing what he's always doing. He's trying so hard. The Biden administration has raised its concerns about settler violence. Well, what have they done about it? Okay, let's get into the details. Okay, so this is what's in the let's see. This is what's in the executive order. The first round of sanctions under the new executive order includes 4 Israeli settlers who the US said were directly involved in attacks against Palestinians in the West Bank and systematic acts that led to the forced displacement of Palestinian communities. They include David Chai Chazday, who the U.S. says initiated and led a riot in a Palestinian village; Enan Tangil, who is accused of assaulting Palestinian farmer Shalom Zickerman, who the U.S. alleges assaulted Israeli activists in the U.S. Bank; and Yenon Levy, who the State Department says has repeatedly attacked several communities in the West Bank. None of those named or their representatives immediately commented on the sanctions. Settlers' assets and bank accounts in the U.S. will be frozen, and no one will be allowed to trade or transfer them money through the U.S. financial system. Okay. Okay. What else is there? The executive order also allows the administration to impose sanctions on additional individuals who directed or participated in acts or threats of violence against Palestinian civilians, intimidated Palestinian civilians, causing them to leave their homes, destroyed or seized property of Palestinian civilians, or were involved in acts of terrorism against Palestinian civilians. It allows the administration to sanction leaders or government officials directly or indirectly involved in violence against Palestinians. The executive order makes clear the individuals who are directing, enacting, implementing, and enforcing or failing to enforce policies that threaten the peace, security, and stability in the West Bank. Quote, Israel must do more to stop violence against civilians in the West Bank and hold accountable those responsible for it, Blinken said today. The United States will continue to take actions to advance foreign policy objectives of the United States. Well, of course, including the viability of a two-state solution and is committed to the safety, security, and dignity of Israelis and Palestinians alike. Okay. Well, we went through the details, and basically, from what I get, it just allows the administration to sanction people who blatantly commit acts of atrocity, I guess. Oh, we got Christina in the building. Hold on, we got Christina. What's going on? Thank you. Thank you, Christina, for the $20 super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, huh? You said I've inspired and motivated. Well, I appreciate that. And I always love in any type of way when I'm able to inspire and motivate people because I'll be struggling, man. I'll be going through it. I'll be having a hard time. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everything that everybody does. And also, too, again, yesterday we crossed 2,000 subscribers. So let's keep this train moving. Let's keep everything going. I'm gonna keep on working hard. And the more we expand, the more we'll be able to do. Won't be much longer before I'm able to bring on like consistent editors, consistent administrators, and stuff like that. And the productivity will just really go up. I won't be spread so thin, which is, that's coming to a close though. But everything's going really well. But thank you so much, Christina. Thank you, everybody. Um, but hold on, let's see what's up. Yes, of course I saw your super chat. Yeah, I had to scroll up. Oh, we got distracted gardener in the building. Um, but yes. Okay. Well, we just went over some of the details of this executive order. Four people were identified, and then it opens up the door for the administration to do more. But I think that this is an issue that people should continue to push the administration on. Um, obviously. But we'll keep our eyes on that and see if any more actions are actually taken um, than just those four individuals. But we did read that there was more in it than just that. But it's not like a huge resolution or anything. Okay, so man, let's look at some of Donald Trump's campaign filings because my man's is just he's just spending so all of his money on his campaign. I mean on his legal fees, right? So we going to look at a little bit of this, right? and But the funny thing is, I'm one of the reasons I'm laughing is because, oh hell yeah, an episode. Oh yeah, we definitely gonna get John. I'm gonna start having a lot of people on here. I just wanted to, get the channel a bit more up and moving and consistent and stuff like that, so that it'll just be better. But we're just about there. The springtime, with the springtime comes many a new opportunity. So as it warms up and stuff like that, over the next few months, we definitely gonna be having people here. But yeah, having John on for a nerd episode would be a lot of fun. But I was laughing at Donald Trump, how much money he spent on legal fees because he still has so much more to go, right? What was it, the 83 million for E. Jean Carroll? Oh, and he ain't said nothing about E. Jean Carroll since he since he got that $83 million slapped on him. And then whatever he's gonna get for this civil trial is gonna be a lot of money. And he's gonna have his he's gonna have his supporters, his voters pay for it as much as he can. He gonna have his voters pay for that shit, and they gonna do it too. They definitely gonna do it. Virginia, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yes, 32 years old. I turned 32 yesterday. And also, yes, we crossed the 2000 mark. The algorithm is taking more notice. The more that I am just putting stuff up too. I've been putting in an effort to, at least put up some of the best clips from our live stream segments. That's the least I could do until we get a real editor. That's the least I could do. So thank you so much. I appreciate everybody. Um Let's see. See Donald, they gonna pay his shit too. Cause he's a victim, he's such a victim. All of this shit is unfair. All of it. All his 91 felony charges, the four indictments, everything. It's just all fake. So much so that that they bringing Taylor Swift to the Super Bowl and they gonna like rig the Super Bowl and then halftime's gonna come and Travis Kelsey's gonna be on the field and he's gonna be looking up at Taylor Swift like, God, I love that woman. He's gonna have on a Pfizer. He's gonna have Pfizer all over his helmet, and he's gonna have Joe Biden all over his jersey. And Taylor Swift's gonna be like, that apparently that's what's going down. Okay, so let's get into some of these numbers, right? Jeremy, thank you so much. I appreciate you, my brother. Now let's look at some of this. All right, now Trump's PAC has just $5 million in the bank after blowing $50 million in legal fees. Bro, that's so much money. And he still has so much more to go. He hasn't even started the criminal trials. He still got so much more to go. Donald Trump's political operation is reeling after spending around $60 million on legal fees pertaining to the four criminal indictments and various ongoing civil lawsuits against him. Oh, okay. So we got all of that. Disclosures indicate that Trump's campaign and the various political action committees supporting it blew through tens of millions of dollars in 2023, leaving him cash strapped heading into this year. Save America PAC, Trump's primary PAC, heading into his likely rematch with President Joe Biden, once had over $100 million in the bank. Whoa. Now it has just a little over $5 million. Jesus. Well, there's more where that came from. His supporters, his supporters gonna be, man, they're gonna be digging into their savings. They're gonna be getting new credit cards. They're gonna be doing everything they can. How blur you? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. They're gonna be doing everything they can. This shit is hilarious. And I think there's some more numbers too. Hold up. These are some of the filings, but let me see this over here. Um I mean, that's pretty much it in terms of I had another thing pulled up, but we don't really need to open it. So out of this $5.9 million that was sent from this particular transaction, $4 million was spent on legal fees, and then it goes into like each of these are different ones. Bro, that's crazy. Can you imagine how much stress he's under? I mean, even though he's like out of his mind and doesn't feel shame the same way that everybody else does. Oh, I mean, we see it clear as day every day that he is terrified of going to prison. I mean, don't nobody want to go to prison. No one. But I mean, I mean, this is even more clear evidence. He is doing everything he can. But yeah, his support is gonna keep on paying his legal bills too. They ain't gonna stop. They ain't gonna stop. Now, let's see. What should we do now? Again, stuff like this isn't new. The polls like this have been coming out for a long time. But and there's another one, a fair outcome. And again, obviously, this doesn't mean that he won't win the election. That's not what this means at all. It's just interesting to look at because it's like imagine how different this could be. Like if for instance, like this whole time he was just like quiet, talked about issues, talked about what he wanted to do for his base instead of what he does. So again, like obviously this doesn't mean that he can't still win. It's just still like it's still interesting to look at. Um because he's going to be in court all year long. So this right here continues to be his biggest issue. Is ultimately just turning people off so much that perhaps he won't bottom out before Joe Biden does. But either way, it's just like this is the dumbest election in history. This is the dumbest election ever. Um, but yeah, as we get closer, that I mean that'll continue to be his biggest problem. Is he's just so that it may end up screwing him in the end. May not, but it might. And again, I mentioned this before. Again, not to like go super deep into it, but this continues to be the reversal of Roe v. Wade and red state pushes for the 6-week bans and what have you. That continues to be um I don't even want to say a winning issue for Democrats. I think a better way, I mean, it is, but I think a better way to say it is it continues to be a driving issue for the public. It continues to be an issue that pushes people to the polls, not just women, but anybody who cares about this issue. Um, so that's what's important, especially, considering there's always many other races going on than just the presidential election. But in this poll, in this Quinnipiac poll, he had a 22-point lead with women, which again isn't surprising, considering how important the issue is. And Donald Trump has been going around bragging, saying like, "I'm the reason that it happened." Um, so I don't really that his legal issues, his legal shit, and this I think will be his biggest problem. But this really is an issue that stems beyond Donald Trump. This is an issue for the Republican establishment as a whole, and it's going to continue to be a losing issue, especially given the fact that they appear to be so adamant about not giving up on the fight. Um, but a 22-point lead, like that's way past the margin of error. Again, doesn't mean he still can't win the election, but uh, protecting abortion rights will continue to be an issue that drives the public to the polls in elections of all kinds. All right, let's see. Hold on, what show y'all talking about? Oh, Schitt's Creek. I haven't watched Schitt's Creek before, but yeah. So abortion rights will continue to be a winner. And again, I don't even that's not even the best way to say it because it makes it seem like because when you say it like that, it makes it seem like it's just something that a political party can take advantage of. But it's much more real of an issue than that. It's something that it's an issue that's inspiring people to run for office themselves. We've covered some women um, on this stream, a couple of women, I think at least two, who are running for House because of something that they personally went through because of like Texas's abortion laws. So that's not going to stop. Let's see. All right. Now, what should we go? What should we do next? And again, like there was an entire article written on the Blaze, and the Blaze is the Blaze is they're really far right. Like, I mean, they're pretty much just like MAGA. But and we're not gonna read through this whole thing. Oh, Jason Whitlock wrote it. Hey, look, if Jason Whitlock is saying it, then y'all going too far because Jason Whitlock is ridiculous. But he's right though. I mean, like they talking about all the Democrats are rigging the Super Bowl. Like, bro, do you know that would be one of the biggest that would be one of the biggest fucking scandals ever. That shit would be one of the biggest fucking scandals in history. Like, obviously, that's not happening. But he, if you got Jason Whitlock saying that y'all tripping, then you know you tripping. Um, I was gonna play this thing about something that Ben Shapiro said, but I don't really even know. I mean, who cares? It's some shit about a U.S. woman being crushed by an Israeli bulldozer. He said he called her one of the great idiots of history, but I don't. I think that's a waste of time, honestly, to watch that. Oh, Alina Habba it looked like she being replaced. But look, listen, at least, at least, what was I gonna say? At least Alina Habba made some money because look, Trump don't be paying people, but he paid her. He paid Alina Habba. Rudy Giuliani filing lawsuits against Trump because Trump hasn't paid him and shit like that. This shit is hilarious. But he paid her. I don't really suspect her to get many contracts at all when it comes to this law shit, this lawyer shit. So I hope she does good with the money that she made. Ex-Trump White House lawyer tortures Alina Habba on CNN over bombshell loss.
I want to ask you before you go, Ty, Alina Habba, Trump's
Sure.
lawyer who lost the case in the E. Jean Carroll $83 million defamation settlement. Trump has indicated he's looking for new representation for his appeal. She represented him, and she said in a recent interview, she talked about that and what it was like working with him. Here's what she said.
Winning always helps. He doesn't want anybody on his team representing him that's, going to keep failing, of course. Loyalty, it's something he talks about all the time, but loyalty in not a cryptic mafia way.
So he did say he's looking for new representation. You worked for him. What do you, or, for the White House, so you know him. What do you think about how she's handled the case?
I think she's handled it in the mafia way. She's done his bidding. She's articulated his political narrative of victimization and unfairness in the judicial system, and made some outlandish claims, including the conflict claims. And she lost, so she's a loser. I'm not surprised that Trump is looking for appellate representation.
All right. Well, Ty, thank you very much. I appreciate your time as always.
Very, very monotone, very to the point. Yeah. But yeah, I just, oh yeah, facts. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna work unless they like, look, man, I could work for this dude and never have to do much again. I already know where I'm gonna put my money. I know what I'm gonna do with my money. Exactly. Because otherwise, again, it's like, even if you have a decent defense for Trump, he ain't gonna listen to you. He not gonna do what you suggest. I mean, bro, like that $83 million payment for E. Jean Carroll is like, that is 100% because he can't shut his mouth. Like 100%. That's it. Nothing else. Who wants to represent that? And at this point, it's just such a bad look. It's like, really? You representing Trump? Like for real? Really? Yeah. Unless they getting crazy money. But hey, his base will pay for that shit too. I just want to hear what Peter Ducey has to say. Because again, there's, I think he may be talking about the Quinnipiac poll where Biden was up by 22 points with women over Trump. I just want to hear how Peter Ducey is going to say this. So I'm just curious to see real quick.
The trends here may be changing because former President Trump, has been leading national poll after national poll over President Biden for the last couple of weeks, but not in this one. And maybe it's an outlier, maybe it's not, but Quinnipiac has Biden up on Trump's.
Right. And Mara, exactly, because you don't need to work with him. Like, once you any kind of decent established, it's like, I really don't have to work with you, man. So yeah, 100%. Oh, this is the dumbest election ever. This is truly the dumbest election ever.
6 points, 50-44. The Biden team has been trying to pivot to general election mode. They've been focusing on abortion access and on union jobs. And the Trump team has spent the last week or so dealing with his legal issues. This poll does have Haley doing better against Biden than Trump.
We got Haley up on Biden.
According to Quinnipiac, Biden.
We got Haley up. Nikki Haley, we got her up by 5.
47-42 nationally, but this is a matchup that's unlikely to happen based on current polling that puts Trump way ahead of her in prime.
Yes, we saw the Shapiro rap video. Actually, I posted it up to the video section. We went over that on Tuesday.
Primary states that she needs at the moment. And we may also have an answer to the question, who do third-party candidates hurt? Ultimately, according to this poll, they hurt Trump because both Biden and Trump lose support when polled against the major third parties. But Biden still.
And again, there's still 10 months left. There's going to be 100 billion, quadrillion, gazillion more polls that come out. But again, I really was just curious to see how he was going to describe this. Is he going to be like, oh, this doesn't mean anything? Or he sounds like a regular reporter right now. He sounds like a pretty straightforward and saying that, oh, well, there's some weaknesses that the Trump campaign needs to address. So yeah, he sounds rather normal right now.
Wins in this.
Because again, no matter who you are, your campaign is always going to have weaknesses that need to be addressed.
poll. And if RFK Jr. continues pulling in 14%, he is certainly going to be a spoiler for one candidate or another, because that is a huge percentage of the voting public. Back to you.
That's an outlier, though, right? Because 8 other polls show the opposite.
We'll see.
It could be an outlier, or that could be the start of a new trend. We don't know.
Okay, start a new trend, Peter. Go find Ed O'Keefe and start a union of White House.
I mean, bro, like both of them, when you really take a bird's eye look, it's they both just have bad campaigns. That's why it's always like you can't like you can't address one campaign without simultaneously acknowledging that the other one really is in the same situation. Like you can't credibly, especially for people who like get listened to, like I do. I mean, I'm not like on a huge platform or anything. We're working our way there, but I mean, you can't really credibly be like, "Oh, Biden's campaign sucks." So Trump's campaign sucks too. So we're just gonna see a whole lot of ping pong and back and forth with stuff like that. But again, ultimately, from what I see, Donald Trump's his campaign's biggest weaknesses are this legal shit, all these legal problems, and things like women. He'll continue to be unpopular with women. Biden's biggest issues will continue to be things like the youth vote, and then the swing states. He's really going to have to pay attention to the swing states. He signed that executive order today. I guess you got to start somewhere, but obviously that's not going to be enough. So, both of them have clear things that they need to focus on. Last go round, Biden, I mean, for the swing state wins, he didn't win by huge margins. I mean, he won in the popular vote by a whole lot, but in the swing states, it was pretty close. So, I mean, more and more, I think it's just pretty clear what both of them need to do. The difference between the Biden campaign and the Trump campaign is at least Joe Biden isn't like spiraling into a complete maniacal demagogue, and Donald Trump, it's just, again, the dumbest election ever. It doesn't matter how you break it down, it just sucks. It's fucking stupid. We got to get past it. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. Bow, bow, bow. All right, let's move. Let's. What should we do now? Ooh, well, let's just start here. This looks fun. This looks fun right here. 100% woke-free beer brand faces F rating from consumer watchdog. But look, listen, man. We cracked the code on Tuesday. We cracked the code. What was it that we was watching? Oh yeah, it was the Ben Shapiro rap video, right? It's like, you don't really have to think that hard to realize that when you're super, super anti-woke, you're the wokest of them all. Because people, you could be called woke basically for just being like, you could be called woke for like having love and respect for gay people. Like that could make you woke, or for, like not being mean to trans people. That could make you woke. Like, but you're not really thinking about it like that. You're just going about your life doing your thing. You feel me? Like being nice to women. He's super woke because he's nice to the ladies, stuff like that. But again, if you're always looking for everything it's so stupid. It's like another example of, I point at you, I got 3 fingers pointing back at me. Ultra right beer. That is the wokest shit ever. Literally, the title of your beer is as woke as it gets. Ultra right beer. Like what? A Georgia-based conservative beer enterprise. No. If you're ultra right, then your ass is a political extremist. Finds itself in hot water with an F rating from consumer watchdog Better Business Bureau amid complaints from its customers expressing dissatisfaction over undelivered orders. Oh, well, hey, that's what happens. Go woke, go broke. Established in April of last year by Seth Weathers, the company emerged in response to conservative disapproval of Bud Light's. Imagine caring so much about this. Again, and how woke is that? I care so much that Bud Light is doing a branding campaign with a transgender woman. I have to drink a beer that has nothing to do with liberals whatsoever. That is, and it's so intentional too, because you have to try so hard. Like, hold on, wait a minute. Who made this? Who's the head of the company? Who sits on the board? Are they Democrats? Like, bro, you know how much energy and focus and attention it takes to do some shit like that? Go woke, go broke, man. Go woke, go broke. Right, they didn't even make the beer. They just made the brand and then didn't even make it. They didn't even have nothing to send it for. Over 100 customers reporting payments for beer that never materialized. They just not sending shit to people. And how resemblant of the movement. I placed an order for 2 reasons. One, to obviously give a pretty nice gift, but also to support the kind of company I thought was kind of spearheading the movement of not shoving things down our throats all the time. I don't want to see these guys. I remember back in the day when they used to hide gay people, but now I look on the television and I see them, and I don't want to see them no more, God damn it. Hey, I mean, other people have bigger problems than that. But hey, we all got problems. I guess that's a problem. I don't want to see gay people on the television. On the moving picture screen, I don't want to see them. One of the owners said, I love our customers. Even the ones that are maybe mad at me right now for the delay. Well, there you go. Ultra right beer. I wonder what it tastes like. What if it tastes what if it tastes exactly like Bud Light? Wouldn't that be hilarious? It wouldn't be surprising, but wouldn't it be hilarious? Uh, right, that shit is right, exactly. Ultra right beer. All right, let's see now. What we gonna do now? We got a couple more left. You already know we got some shit from Chip Chick, but we gotta keep on. We got 2 more. We're gonna look at the average debt of Americans in their 20s. And then we're gonna look at, well, first, matter of fact, let's look at this Marjorie Taylor Greene shit. She's up to her old shenanigans. She's up to her old shenanigans doing what she does. Marjorie Taylor Greene calls to censure and deport Ilhan Omar of Somalia. Ilhan Omar of Somalia. Over debunked video translation.
In the story of the Virgin Islands and an enduring symbol of our Virgin Islands' dignity and pride. I yield back.
The gentlewoman from Georgia seek recognition.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Clause 2A.1 of Rule 9, I seek recognition to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House. The form of the resolution is as follows.
Recognized.
Censuring Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota. Whereas elected members of Congress take an oath to bear true faith and allegiance to the United States without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. Whereas Representative Ilhan Omar took an oath of allegiance to the United States upon becoming a citizen, declaring, I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen. Whereas on January 27, 2024, Representative Omar gave remarks at an event in Minneapolis in which she made treasonous statements. Whereas Representative Omar said she has spoken to many Somalians who asked her to intercede for the Somali government by pressure.
Okay. So this was debunked anyway, but even at that, it's like, okay, so that's treasonous, but Donald Trump is not treasonous. The motherfucker's running up in the Capitol. That's not treasonous.
The United States government into certain actions. Whereas Representative Omar assured the Somalians she spoke to, the U.S. government will only do what Somalians in the U.S. tell them to do. They will do what we want and nothing else. They must follow our orders, and that is how we will safeguard the interest of Somalia. Whereas Representative Omar continued, for as long as I am in U.S. Congress, Somalia will never be in danger. Its waters will not be stolen by Ethiopia or others. Sleep in comfort knowing I am here to protect the interest of Somalia.
I'm not. What? I'm barely even listening to her. Like what?
From inside the U.S. system. Whereas George Washington warned in his farewell address of 1796 to guard against the impostures of pretended patriotism, and further declared citizens by birth or choice of a common country, that country has a right to concentrate your affections.
Shut up. What in the hell? I barely listened to a word that she said. And honestly, it doesn't matter. What she said doesn't fucking matter. It really doesn't. The average debt of Americans in their 20s. Let's see what happens. I mean, let's see what it is. How much debt does the average 20-year-old have? All right, let's just go over the basics right here. It says, as of 2023, Experian reports that the average non-mortgage debt of Generation Z in the U.S., which includes 20-year-olds, is around $15,105. This amount typically encompasses a range of debts, including student loans, auto loans, and credit card balances, indicative of the common financial challenges and lifestyle choices faced by young adults in this demographic. I mean, bro, honestly, pretty much everybody beneath baby boomers is lumped into the same category of debt and where their money is owed. Like Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z is like, all the debts in the same areas. Not that like separating them doesn't matter. I'm just saying like pretty much all three of those generations are impacted the same economically and by the same things. Credit card debt on average have a credit card balance. People in their 20s have a credit card balance of $3,148. Auto loans, the average auto loan balance for this age group stands out at about $19,223. Student loans average at $20,468. Just a couple stats to go over. Just a couple stats to go over. Let's see. Now, let's see. This is not this study real quick. We going to Chip Chick. We got three things from Chip Chick because you already know, man, that's just one of the greatest places on earth. And it's just one of the best places ever. And I know for me, this is a fact. For me, this is definitely a fact. A recent study involving university students revealed that writing by hand boosts memory and learning much better than typing on a keyboard. For me, that's 100% true. Anytime I'm trying to really learn something or really ingrain something in my brain, I'm pretty much always writing it down. It just doesn't hit the same like when I write stuff on the computer. Like it just I don't know, like it's just not the same. Research and study methods have undergone tremendous change over the past few decades. After relying on resources like hard copy, encyclopedias, and tools like notebooks, pencils, and typewriters, the advent of computers and the internet completely changed how students learn and work. But despite classrooms now being equipped with smart boards and most students learning to type in grade school, a recent study revealed that older learning methods actually have a larger impact on memory. More specifically, a research team in Norway found that writing by hand instead of typing on a keyboard can actually boost both learning and memory. The study involved 36 university students who were tasked with either handwriting or typing words on a screen. Then the researchers used 256 sensors to monitor brain activity and found that handwriting notably improved the connections between various brain regions, a phenomenon not observed during typing. Quote, we we show that when writing by hand, brain connectivity patterns are far more elaborate than when typewriting on a keyboard, said Audrey Vandermeer, a professor at the Norwegian University of Science and Technology. Quote, such widespread brain connectivity is known to be crucial for memory formation and for encoding new information, and therefore is beneficial for learning. Oh, okay. So cursives. Yeah, cursive is like going out. Hardly anybody knows how to write in cursive anymore. I barely do. I barely do. I still remember how to write in cursive, but by the I was born in 1992, and like around that time, that's kind of when it was just like it was about on its way out in terms of like being a part of like what everyone learns how to do. In the study, participants wrote in cursive on a touchscreen using a digital pen and typed using a single finger on a keyboard. The research team employed a high density EEG. Okay, blah blah blah. But that's yeah, that's interesting. But for me, that's 100% true. 100% true for me. Now, let's see. All right, now we got two relationship things with I can't be mad at. You know what I'm saying? I can't be mad at either of these. He called off his engagement with his fiance because while she's a successful streamer who makes five figures a month, he feels like he's living in a reality TV show that he never signed up for. Listen, I'm at the age now where I realize that compatibility matters, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, if something just doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work for you. If something isn't working for somebody else and it's a part of your lifestyle and how you do things, then eventually you just have to accept that that's how life works. I feel like when you're younger, you feel like there's something so sinister and so purposeful and intentional about relationships not working, but life is relationships and life is many new relationships, and especially when it comes to stuff like this, the older you get, the more you know who you are and how you live and what fits with you and what doesn't. So I mean, I'm assuming they're probably pretty young, but that's just how shit goes, man. You grow up and you realize what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And if this is not a part of something that he wants to do, then hey, at least he had the courage to call it off. Oh, damn. So she streams for 11 hours a day. That's a lot of streaming. You feel me? You know what I mean? And I can understand how that could be like, well, where are we really going with this? What are we really doing with this? This is a lot of time. Compatibility matters, man. But yeah, no, that's just how shit goes. I can't blame it for this one. And now, let's see. And now we got one. Um, let's see. We got let's see. Now we got one where a woman broke up with a man, and I really can't blame her either. You know what I'm saying? I can't blame her for this one either. She broke up with her boyfriend because he lied about his mom dying, and then she actually met his mom at his house. Yeah, that's a bit much. That's definitely a bit much. I mean, like, what? Eh, is anything that you say true? I mean, that's a pretty egregious lie. Wow, that's like some George Santos level type shit right there. That is some George Santos type shit. And I can't blame you. I couldn't blame him for leaving her, and I can't blame her for leaving him because it's like, there's a lot of stuff that you can work with, but eh, like, oh, my mom died, and then I go to your house and there's your mom. It's like, I can understand lies about certain things, like, oh, I'm I'm busy, but you're just sleeping or some shit, or like, white lies, whatever. You can get that. Where you can understand why people may not want to talk about something yet. They may want to talk about it later. Like there's stuff you can work with because again, everything isn't sinister. But this is something that's kind of sinister. It's like, motherfucker, you did this on purpose. This is not no fear of intimacy type shit. You're just you a George Santos type of motherfucker. But yes, Chip Chick is absolutely wonderful. Virginia, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Let's see, what'd you say? Um, Hold on, my bad. I was looking at the other thing on the side. It's like reading a book or listening to a book. You read, your imagination goes everywhere. But yes, no, Chip Chick, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, and also thank you for the birthday super chat. But yeah, Chip Chick always has the goods. But look, listen, we had a wonderful Thursday live stream. Thank you everybody for everything that you do. We crossed 2,000 subscribers yesterday. Everything is going well, one day at a time, brick by brick. We are building this up. I turned 32 yesterday. I had a good day, and I'm ready to continue forward. I'm ready to continue forward, and you all absolutely helped me to do that. So thank you so much for everything. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. And tomorrow is going to be a big TYT day. I probably won't stream earlier because I'm gonna be on TYT twice, but I'm gonna be on Indisputable tomorrow, and I'm also gonna be on the Power Panel Hour 2. So catch me tomorrow for TYT day, and I will see y'all soon.